Dr. Maria Preeti, and all the members of In Tandem Research Club of the PG and Research Department of English of Queen Mary's College for having me here. Thank you all. I'd like to, at this juncture, congratulate the Queen Mary's College, the principal, the students, and the staff for this wonderful, astonishing 110 years of service to education, especially uplifting and empowering the lives of women the past 110 years. Ma'am had given me half an hour time. Let me see how fast I can move so that we can finish. I'm going to, the topic given to me was Introduction to Peace Studies. And what I will be doing here is I will be touching a little about the basics of peace and conflict, meaning of peace studies, schema for peace studies, technique for preparing students for peace studies, the role of teachers in imparting peace studies as well as building peace in students. And this is going to be multi-dimensional perspective presentation where I'm going to talk about theory and practice, as well as I'm going to slide through starting off from peace studies to peace education to peace building. This is again going to benefit the students and the teachers. And we'll also be talking about the role of teachers in helping students. As we start, I just have a question for you. Peace makes the task of education easier. But do you think education promotes peace? Must be if in case you are so very, you can use the chat box to post so that I can also have a look at it. Does education promote peace? Do we promote peace in our education? Okay. I just like to take you through a message from John Paul Lederach in 1998. I will tell you why I put such an old message or saying by John Paul Lederach. So he says each day it seems that our morning papers are splashed with headlines announcing another perplexing addition to the dreadful list of unresolved and violent conflicts. Gruesome, explicit photographs. We saw Armstrong's death, the BHP leader's death. Ma'am, I think somebody's mic is switched on.
Can I interrupt if you don't mind? Yeah. I would really appreciate if everyone can mute so that ma'am can present the paper. I would really appreciate that.
Beauty secret. So, never. I don't like you.
Can I continue him or shall we wait for people to mute?
You like this.
Yes. Okay, so Lederach was talking about gruesome, explicit photographs accompany the horrid details of stories of suffering. We are easily left wondering about the future of our globe. At the same time, there are negotiations, proceedings, and peace accords being signed. The combination of extensive fighting and a continual search of peace raises interesting questions about where things stand across our globe nearly a decade since the end of the Cold War. And here we are, 3 decades after, close to 3 decades after John Paul Lederach's remark, we are still grappling with peace. In simple words, what is peace? This is what everybody expects, looks for. Everybody thinks he is at peace, he is happy. Why am I not happy? It is the greatest and highest goal or hope that everyone wishes to achieve personally and expects to be created in society and in the world. So this is definition by Baruch, and he says peace was not an absence of war. It is a virtue, a state of mind, a disposition for benevolence, confidence, and justice. I know I'm talking to a group of English lecturers and researchers, research scholars, But still, I thought to tell you the value of each of these words there. It's a behavior which shows high moral standard.
வரோம்
It is
வரேன் ஆள் வச்சிருக்கேன்
it is a mental condition. It is a usual way of behaving. It is the quality of being well-meaning, kindness. It's a trust or strong belief in somebody or something. It is the fair treatment of people. Okay, the online Merriam-Webster dictionary goes on to say it's a state of tranquility or quiet, freedom from civil disturbances. Nothing is happening around, like people are not frightened to come out of their houses, walk into streets. It's a state of security or order within a community provided for by law or custom. So it is not only at the top level, but it is also freedom from disquieting or oppressive thoughts or emotions and harmony in personal relations. So peace should include, see the context, large-scale systems, groups, relationships, as well as the inner or individual peace. Again, going back to another question, how many people are required to cause conflict? Is a big group, 4 or 5 people, 6, 7 people, or just 1, 2 people attacking each other? We saw the bloodshed. We see this very often happening now. Stabbing. Very recently, a principal at Assam, Bezawada, he's been stabbed by a student for just asking him to bring his parents. Actually, there is one person is enough, or the person's internal self is enough to cause conflicts. Anger, loneliness, aggression. So what is conflict? Collins Dictionary says it is a state of opposition between ideas, interests, etc. It is a disagreement or controversy. One person's idea is being opposed by the other. There is conflict of interest. There is controversy. It is the incompatibility of needs, desires, goals, wants, temperaments, attitudes and values, which means that the two existing needs, goals or desires of individual or different groups cannot be fulfilled simultaneously. It is an incompatibility. And it cannot be fulfilled for all. But you know what? Conflict has been a natural part of human experience and relationship from time immemorial. With very little memory of whatever I studied, I did my BA English Literature at Stella Maris way back in 95-98. With that little memory, I would like to recall Chaucer's familiarity breeds contempt in the Tale of Melody. So he says, familiarity breeds contempt. Okay. 2 people, 3 people together, must be 1 month, and immediately there is a fight or a conflict, misunderstanding, miscommunication. That's why in Tamil they say, for married couple, 90 days mela sanda. So it is like that. But you know what? Conflict is not a negative threat alone, but it is also an opportunity to increase our understanding of ourselves and others. We understand ourselves. There is a positive outcome also to conflict. Why does conflict occur? Poor communication. We do not communicate in full. I thought you understood what I said. Perceived oppression. You perceive that you're being oppressed. There's somebody on top trying to push you down. Low values and ethics. We see a lot of extramarital affairs. We see a lot of things which, because of low values and ethics, cause a lot of conflicts. Stress. Fear. The fear of something is worse than the thing itself. The fear of a thing is worse than the actual thing. Attachment. What is happening in families? Okay. Attachment. So the mother is attached to the son, and she doesn't want to give him away to this new daughter-in-law. The attachment, it causes a lot of problem. Past trauma. Somebody's undergone some trauma. So Principal Ma'am was talking about these girls who studied at QMC, studying at QMC, who come with a lot of baggage. Misunderstandings. I thought you said this. Misunderstanding. Expectations. And the resources are scarce, and we fight for that. Now, coming on to, I'm going to talk very little theory, and we will move to a very interesting part within another 2-3 slides. What is peace studies? Again, as everybody said, it is a broad and interdisciplinary, intellectual enterprise that analyzes the causes of war, conflict, and violence, and the orientation and approaches to build peace, conflict resolution, transformation, peace building, and non-violence. Even when we were putting up or putting together the curriculum for the diploma in peace studies to be offered at the Center for Peace Studies at Madras Christian College, we were very dicey about the name. Should it be conflict resolution and peace studies, because conflict comes before peace, or should it be peace and conflict resolution? We tell the positive and then the negative. And at last we landed up peace and conflict studies, conflict resolution. Okay, fine. So why I wanted to make a note here is I was talking about conflict here, and first analyzes the causes of war, conflict, and violence, and the orientation approaches to build peace, conflict resolution, transformation, peace building, and non-violence. It's an academic discipline, again, of sociology, economics, psychology, you name it, and it is there. Social work, everything, political science, public administration, history, geography, anthropology, and it goes on. With an emancipatory interest in transformative possibilities, it transforms. It's just not transactional, it is transformative. It's not just for the moment, but it transforms. Transformative possibilities for the improvement of human well-being as well as the prevention of violence. Peace studies is also analysis of the conditions that prevent interpersonal, intergroup, and international violence, and those that enable us to build or restore harmonious and constructive human relations on any level. Peace studies. What are we going to do? We are going to understand peace. We will be understanding conflict. And we will also be learning as to violence as a universal phenomenon that occurs in any kind of relationship. We will have this understanding. What are the goals of peace and conflict studies? Number one, to make a contribution to realizing a more just and sustainable. Justice prevails. Everybody is happy and equal. To explore the approaches to transform, again, not transactional, but transformational, transform an unjust and violent world into a just and peaceful one in a non-violent way, To contribute to achieving a world wherein people have different or even opposing values, views, or interests, which can resolve conflict non-violently and creatively, and to empower each of us. When I say each of us, anybody moving into the realm of peace studies, peace education, peace building, it empowers each of us to become a future contributor to conflict resolution, peace building on interpersonal, intercommunal, interstate, and global levels. Okay, quickly to take you through what is peace education. It is a part of peace studies. So in peace studies, if you're going to teach theory, there is also the practice part which students need to know. Okay, so peace education is the process of promoting knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values needed to bring about behavior changes that will enable children, youth, and adults to prevent conflict and violence, which is both overt and structural. in the structural level also, at the structural level also, to resolve conflicts peacefully and to create the conditions conducive to peace, whether at an intrapersonal, interpersonal, intergroup, national or international level. Peace education provides people with the means they can relate to themselves, their immediate environment, and the world. Okay, here we are. You see this peace pyramid. So the base is personal peace. The next level is interpersonal peace, the intergroup or the social peace, the global peace, and the final, the peace between humans and the earth and beyond, harmony with nature. All this will definitely lead us to harmony with the sacred source. Okay, so this is the peace pyramid with the base of personal peace. Now, these are the levels of conflict. Concentric circles with individual personal conflicts at the crux or the core. Next level conflict is the relationship, and then to structure, and then to culture. If you see in both of these, the base is the personal peace or the personal conflict. I have a question to ask. Just think aloud. Is it possible to build peace at level 3, 4, and 5 in the peace level pyramid? Is it possible to build peace in 3, 4, and 5? 3, 4, and 5 in the peace level pyramid, and structural cultural levels in the conflict concentric circles. Structure and culture. Is it possible? I know we'd be having mixed feelings as to it is possible, it is not possible, it needs a lot of time, etc., etc. But you know what? It is possible if in case we are able to touch the core, the personal level and the interpersonal level. You all can take a screenshot of this. This is a YouTube video, the Imam and the pastor. Huge levels of structural and cultural changes were brought by these two individuals who let go of a lot of a lot of conflicts within, so that they were able to achieve the 3, 4 level of peace pyramid and the third and fourth circle of the conflict circles. This is a story in Nigeria, set in Nigeria, where a Muslim imam and a pastor who were at loggerheads because of the structure and the culture there come together and work out possible solutions, and they have reconciled matters there. I'm going to skip quickly. I'm going to take you through this. What is interpersonal peace? War begins in the minds of men. It is in the minds of men that the defenses of peace must be created. Okay, this conflict arises out of your own thoughts, emotions, ideas, values, and predispositions. It can occur when you are struggling between what you want to do and what you should do. Okay, when I say intrapersonal, within oneself, these are the usual conflicts which occur. Poor self-awareness, dissatisfaction with personal experience, poor financial situation, no goals in life, poor time management, poor communication skills, unrealistic expectations, parents' negligence, poor coping mechanisms, poor performance, excessive criticism, bullying, harassment, child abuse, trauma, poor problem solving, poor positive thinking, low motivation, betrayal, poor resilience, and it goes on. To take you very quickly through what is interpersonal peace. It focuses on peace in all relationships between people, so it includes everyday relationship difficulties such as family and marital context, community and neighborhood problems, and harmful interaction patterns. Interpersonal conflict may even occur without one party realizing there was ever a conflict. The other person doesn't understand or know that there was a conflict also. Again, when we talk about interpersonal conflicts, we are talking about personality clashes, competition for resources, authority issues, lack of cooperation, difference of opinion, low performance, low tolerance, low trust, lack of respect towards others, jealousy and envy, harassment, addictions, and it goes on. Here I am pressing, we are moving on to the practical part as to what we need to do. Schema for peace studies. First, you need to give the students knowledge, the theory. Second, you need to bring a change in the attitude of the students. I will explain each one in detail. And then you'll have to develop in students the skills which are required for them to be peacemakers, be peace builders, to be at peace. Okay. Knowledge. Give them knowledge on direct, structural, and cultural violence. Give them knowledge on the theory part, okay? Knowledge on causes and dynamics of violent conflict. Please tell them about human rights. Human rights violation leads to a lot of conflicts. The UDHR, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the UNCRC, the CEDAW, child rights, women rights, migrant rights, torture, convention against torture, etc., etc. Tell them the current affairs, what's happening around us. Tell them about environment and sustainability. Again, we are actually in a fix where there is huge climate change, which we really need to battle. Civic processes. What is the process for filing a public interest litigation? For receiving legal aid. Teach them about social inclusion and social exclusion. How people are included, how people are excluded. What do we do to include these people who are excluded? Tell them about conflict management, conflict resolution and transformation, interfaith and intercultural learning. Create attitude, to change the attitude. I will tell you how to do it. Create self-awareness, positive outlook to life, respect for self and others and environment. Let them build empathy, the attitude of empathy, being empathetical. Let them be compassionate. Teach them how to reconcile. Help them to tolerate things, desire to promote justice, social responsibility, inclusiveness, gender sensitivity, and spirituality. Skills you need to help these children gain or learn. Cooperation, teamwork, active listening, dialogue, negotiation, mediation, non-violent communication, not talking aggressively but assertively, understanding, managing, and expressing emotions, leadership, critical thinking, analytical skills, decision making, problem solving, resilience coming back to normalcy, intercultural cooperation, financial management. So you need to develop in children these skills also. Now, how do you do it? Involve them. Send them to the field. Let them have a pinch of what is happening down there. Let them talk to people who are struggling, who are suffering. So in theory, you're going to tell them human rights. In attitude, you will ask them to go to a slum and meet an old woman there and talk to her. Take an interview of that lady. The student is going to be empathetical, compassionate. It's going to see how that person can be, the old person, the age can be included into mainstream society. And while the child is talking, send 2 or 3 of them. When the child is talking or when they work as a team, teamwork, active listening, they are going to learn. They're going to take up leadership roles. They're going to critically think, how do I include this person? They're going to decide. They're going to problem solve for the aged woman and so on and so forth. This is just one example I'm giving you. Let them go talk to beggars on the road. Let them go talk to women, migrants, street vendors, you name it. They just need to go and talk to them. Do some research with them. So you give them the knowledge and you send them to the field. They're going to get the required attitude. They're going to gain attitude and as well as the skills. You know, actually the time is running. Remember I told you at the beginning, John Leduc's quote, where he said 10 decades is gone. And I said, already we are close to 30 decades again. It's high time. It's good that QMC is thinking about peace studies, research in peace. Education institutions should become peace zones. And the ripple effect of peace studies would be great. You just touch one person, one student, and it goes on. It spreads. It's contagious. It spreads. Now, going on to again the schema, how do I change the attitude? How do I build skills? You have given the knowledge in theory. Teach them the Joe Harry window. The Joe Harry window helps them understand themselves, the self-awareness component. Who am I? What am I doing? What should I be doing? The who am I would be answered by this Joe Harry window. We have a lot of intrapersonal struggle because of low self-esteem. This is a just 10-item scale, Rosenberg self-esteem scale. Use it and analyze it. And you will find answers for many students who are struggling with self-esteem and see how you can help them. Do a SWOT analysis for all the students. Now, this is not only for students, it is also going to be for students who are going to be peace builders, who are going to be researchers in a peace area, in peace studies, in peace education. So let them do a strength, weakness, opportunities, threat to see what are the internal strengths, what is internal, what is external, what is going to be helpful for them, what is going to be harmful for them. Let them understand themselves. Okay, teach them this, the conflict management grid, and tell them you always cannot give importance to a relationship and achieving your goal. There is also sometimes to avoid. There is always some time to accommodate. There is always some time to compromise. There is always some time to compete. There is always some time to collaborate. It is situational. Let's say, for example, we are going on the road and somebody comes and hits a girl at the back. It's not a time to avoid or accommodate or compete. You get help. You talk to that person. You get the police or somebody and let that person be punished. To a mother-in-law, you definitely cannot compete always. With a husband, you will have to collaborate or compromise. So situational, tell them this. And there is an animal attached to each of this. Avoidance is like a turtle. You avoid the conflict and you get inside. You accommodate, you are like a teddy bear. You accept everything. Yes, 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 yes. You compete like a shark. You collaborate like an owl. You compromise like a fox. Tell them stories. This is a small story of how a boy who used to get angry became very aware that he was becoming very angry. He went to his father, Appa, I'm getting angry very much nowadays. And the father tells, there is a wooden fence behind our house. Every time you get angry, go with somebody, go nail into the wooden fence. And this boy does that. And at one point of time, he sees so much of anger within a month. He goes to his dad, Daddy, I'm feeling bad about this. I need to stop becoming angry. And I need to say sorry. Okay, please go ahead and tell sorry to all the people whom you had hurt. And he goes. And his dad says, every time you say sorry, come pull out a nail. And he does that. But you know what? It leaves a mark behind on the wooden fence. This father says, see, you became angry, you hurt people. Anyway, you leave behind a wound. Tell them stories. Let them understand. Tell them sometimes you have to lose to win. You have to lose certain arguments. You have to lose certain conflicts. You have to lose certain power, authority to win peace of mind. Tell them, keep them occupied. Tell them an idle brain is the devil's workshop. Ask them to go to schools and teach during their free time. Ask them to create some content so that they don't land up in conflicts. Tell them what things are that there are in their control and things that are out of their control. Let them understand. Let me not brood over this. This is not my problem. I cannot do anything with what has happened in the past. I cannot think of what other people say or think about me. Tell them all this. Tell them. Tell them the hazards of using the mobile phone always. It is a cell phone. Explain to them their role. Give them the role clarity. the rules and regulations by which they need to go. Tell them that nothing grows in the comfort zone. Come out. Even a grass will not grow in the comfort zone. Tell them that we can go to the growth zone. Definitely there will be a fear zone. And there is always a learning zone from where we will reach the growth zone. Guide them through from comfort zone to growth zone. Help them. Let them live their dreams. Teach them communication skills. Again, why we are talking all this, I want to reinforce. It is not only as part of the peace studies, it is also peace building. For peace building, you need all these skills. And you need to understand yourself before you become a peace builder. Ask them to listen, ask them to be friendly, ask them to be open-minded, ask them to take feedback, be confident, and non-verbal communication matters a lot. Teach them time management. This also leads to a lot of conflict. Humility. It is the first virtue. There is this Chinese proverb, be like the bamboo, the higher you grow, the deeper you bow. Be very humble. Humility. Teach them that. Now, how can you teach? What are some teaching learning approaches and strategies in peace education? Take them through discussions. You're sending them to an old age home. Let them come back. Let two people sit opposite to each other and let them share. How did you feel talking to this elderly person? How did you feel when she cried? What do you decide out of this? The child might even say, the student might say, I will take care of my parents properly and my in-laws properly. Give them imagination exercises. If in case this happens to you, what will you do? Perspective taking. Give them role plays. Let them role play. Role reversals. Give them simulation games. Put them in setups like that in a conflict situation and ask them, what will you do? How will you manage? What is the best way to manage this conflict? What is the best way to resolve this conflict? What is the best way to transform this conflict? Give them case studies, reading or writing a quotation. Give photographs, let them analyze. Tell stories, including personal stories. I tell a lot of stories. Give them a song, a poem, analysis. English literature has so many dramas, plays in which they can analyze, with which they can analyze. We have plays like Macbeth, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Arms and Men, Mother Courage and the Children, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, Dover Beach, Maya Angelou's The Rock cries out to us today. Emily Dickinson's I many times thought peace had come today. Lots. English literature can teach peace. Peace through literature can be a concept. Journal writing, ask them to reflect on what happened on that day. How did they handle situations? Send them around, let them go see and come. We actually ask our students, undergraduate students, on a 1 day below poverty line exercise. We ask them to spend only 30 rupees. With that 30 rupees, they'll have to travel, eat that day's food, etc., etc. Only 30 rupees. They feel, they empathize what it is to be hungry, what it is to move around with limited money. Let them do interviews, let them do research, get experts to talk to them. Okay, now what do you talk about? Talk about human rights violations, sensitize them on various issues, show them movies. J-Beam can be a movie you want to show. Lots of movies are there. Observing special days. Ask them to act, street theater, go to a slum and act. They're going to change their attitude and they're going to develop a lot of skills. Create peace clubs. Talk about values in class. Talk about the magic words, please, sorry, thank you. Teach them how to appreciate and show gratitude. Teach them how to respect parents, respect elders, respect women. And please talk about marriage and divorce. Please. Alarming rate of divorce. Alarming. Very alarming. Okay. What should I do as a teacher? It's not my problem. Sorry. It is our problem, definitely. This is a small story. Okay, I'll skip this and we will go forward. Please take a screenshot if you want. This article is there on the internet. It's an article published in 2019 as to how teachers can be peace educators. Teachers, we have multiple roles. I want to close with this. Okay, let me take you through this very quickly. A great teacher is a peace educator by instinct. She is self-aware. She teaches students to reflect introspectively and to be sensitive. She nurtures self-expression, listening and dialogue, and affirms empathy. She's honest and open to learning and supports critical thinking and questioning. A great teacher raises a generation of proactive, compassionate citizens with democratic values. A great teacher embodies, learns, and teaches peace every day. I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore feminist. Don't ask me why you use she everywhere. Felt like, and I added that. I'm going to tell you a story, and with that, we are winding up. This is, I hope you know the hummingbird, the smallest bird in the world. One day it was lying down on the floor ground with its two legs lifted up like this towards the sky. There was a big, huge elephant. We know the hugeness of elephant. It was walking down and it told the hummingbird, stupid hummingbird, why are you lying down on the ground? By mistake, if in case I had stamped you, what would happen? And the hummingbird said, you know what? People were saying that the sky is falling. So I'm putting my 2 feet up to stop the sky from falling. We don't expect our children to know and discover the principles of calculus on their own, but some of us would give them no guidance when it comes to ethics, morality, and values. Let's do our part and be peace builders. God bless. Thank you. Any discussion?
Thank you, Dr. Belinda. I was all ears.
Thank you, ma'am.
In fact, I just wanted you to go on and on. That's my response, but I'll leave the floor to others. The experts are board members and students, and maybe in winding up, I'll say a few things. Srilata ma'am, you there?
Yeah, I was trying to unmute. Okay. I think thank you for setting the tone for this year's deliberations, Dr. Belinda. I've not seen you before, neither have I known, but I'm so happy that you are there in the group for setting this. I think you've given us almost all the deliberations this year will be based on what you have said. It's a positive thing that we started with peace studies. So, because when we say peace, it always war and conflicts and all the rest are there in the background. So it is for us to resolve those, and all literary works. I think most of the literary works and award-winning works, I think they deal with this. So not only literary works, we deal with many things here. So we have not purely literary works, but as you said, it is teachers like us who can inspire now we've all we are on the other side. We can inspire the younger generation to propagate what we call peace in the world, because this is entirely political. I think we are into the world of politics with this. Of course, we deal with all kinds of politics and all kinds of in research, but I think this time we have active politics. I think in the studies that we are going to, the interdisciplinary studies that we will be taking up this year, all of this. Thank you. Happy to have heard that very, very illuminative discussion, on peace studies.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I hope our some of our PG
Yeah, PG
students
students, yeah,
share
PG
if
students should.
they are thinking along the same lines. I was thinking, students are so anxious about research topic. I think this is one topic which can be a very meaningful, soulful study where they don't have to feel anxious and they can feel that they're doing something with purpose and not that they have to learn very difficult concepts, deconstruction, post-structuralism, this, that. I don't know what students have to say. If I could hear the voices of students, PG students who are on the call. Do you like this topic? You can speak up. We are all your friends. Don't feel intimidated by the presence of senior faculty here. Students, you
Can
want
I
to say
give you,
something?
ma'am, can I
Yes.
give few suggestions? I wanted to say, but since time was running out, students, you can choose theoretical frameworks, like for example, the social exclusion theory, inclusion theory, rights-based approach.
Mm.
Okay, so you choose a theory and then let's fit it into a novel. Let's say, for example, or a drama or a play, a Shakespearean play. And then you analyze how people are excluded. What are the human rights, rights-based approach? What are the rights which are being uh, violated? You can take the autobiographies of peace builders. In fact, Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, Rabindranath Tagore, Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, Abraham Lincoln, analyze how they have transformed. In fact, I showed you a video of, I just put up the link there, the Imam and the Pastor. Please watch it. You can talk about how arts can, I hope I can give some ideas, ma'am. I hope the student will not get stuck to these topics, but yeah,
That's what we want.
Yes,
okay, okay, ma'am.
please do. That's
Yes,
what
ma'am.
we want. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. So you can use how art helps in building peace. How does you just do
Just
a
a
small.
moment, I'll interrupt. Someone, can you text? Can you put in the chat box as ma'am is telling so that the students can take it down? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So
Thank you.
analyzing autobiographies, a particular author's plays or novels, seeing what are the conflict resolution methods, conflict transformation methods. You can look at some movie which is about peace, and then link it to a novel or a drama. Look at theory. I just want to repeat this. This is very important because I always tell my PG students, use a theoretical framework. Let your research be based on a theoretical framework. Women's empowerment models are there. Pincus and Minahan. Please take that. See what they are telling. Fit it into a feminist novel, Virginia Woolf. I hope I'm remembering names properly. Far, far long back. Uh, it must be you can look at.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you, ma'am. Feminist novel, etc., etc. And the Rosenberg scale, you take it to children and analyze and see how you can help. Lead a lot of. I remember Uncle Tom's Cabin, Mulkraj Anand's Untouchability, and it goes on. The subaltern literature. Take one particular Tamil novelist or a dramatist and analyze his work. So much. Anything and everything is peace. Anything and everything is peace. There's so much to discuss under the sun in the area, in the realm of peace. Students, any discussion, any thoughts, anything you want to ask?
Madam, environment is also a political theme today. So how would you, I mean, we have been dealing with it in interdisciplinarity, but as part of peace studies, how would you put in these environmental conflicts that we have?
Ma'am, there are a lot of issues related to environmental conflict. If in case it's related to people, when I say people, I'm talking about displacement, the internally displaced people.
Mm,
So, like for example, the Narmada Bachao Andolan.
mm,
So, what was the strategy used by Medha Patkar
mm,
when she worked for the IDPs there?
Mm.
How was the livelihood lost? Then let students go choose a book which is based out of forest or the stage set, or I'm not sure whether I'm saying the right words. The field, the place
mm,
where it is set is the forest, and how livelihoods happen there, and draw similar lines with what happened there in the Narmada Bachao Andolans area where people were moved. Kudankulan had a lot of protest. What was happening? The Sterlite Corporation. Okay, all said and done, these type, as well as the climate change by itself, life on water, life on land, and we definitely can do research. In fact, in my the peace pyramid which I showed, the topmost part is with the environment. It is the pinnacle. We definitely need to do something. You can do small applied research, plastics, collect waste, and see with that, based on that, what can we do? And in fact, it is not only social sciences, humanities, and arts which are related to peace. It is also sciences. When I went for the MPI workshop, I had a friend from Bishop Evo College from the physics department, and he published a paper after we came back from MPI. He wrote a paper on science and peace. So there is scope for that also, science and peace. So, in fact, everything under the sun
Yes.
can be studied.
Mm.
Have I answered you, ma'am?
Yes, you have. You have.
Thank you, ma'am.
We've dealt with environment, but man versus environment. I mean, that would be nature, man versus nature. Most of the time, that's what comes up,
Yes,
right? We haven't come. I don't think we have specifically dealt with this politics of the environment. In
yes.
so far, these three years have passed where we did have chances. I think almost every year we had one or two of those. Papers on this environment per se.
But should be careful while publishing a paper also when it
I
involves
know
politics.
it's political more than any. Even even we are going to have some enviro something no coming up, uh, whether we should accept it or not, some act coming up in India itself, not yet in force.
Okay,
Yeah, something coming up. I just heard.
okay.
Uh,
Not aware, sorry, ma'am.
right.
Anyone else, students, any support, any help? The research can be qualitative, quantitative, interviews, focus group discussions, just analysis, secondary literature. You name it and you can do it.
Yeah, before we
Yes,
close,
Mr.
anyone have any, if you can even um, share what you felt about the presentation. Um, Feel free to express yourself, students and participants, young faculty from other colleges. I can see a few of you here. Oh, Shannon has a question
Good evening, ma'am. Could you please
in
tell
the
me
chat
also,
box, ma'am.
poetry and peace studies can be studied alongside each other. And poetry also included. Yes, definitely. I think with my little knowledge and what I Googled through, I too did a little research before I came in to talk with you, with you all. So, uh, poetry wise, might be Indian authors itself, Rabindranath Tagore, and all those people. You can take their In fact, I happened to go to Sri Lanka and we went to a bishop's house and his wife had written a small collection of poems. So it had one poem. It was very gruesome and it portrayed the uh, agony of the Sri Lankan Tamils there. The name of the poem was Kumudini. Kumudini. Kumudini was a boat carrying somewhere close to 80 people, and it was crossing a particular portion there in Sri Lanka, in the war-torn area of Sri Lanka. And there was a group of these uh, IPKF who entered the boat and started shooting and killing people. And this scene has been portrayed in that poem. And the narrator, I'm sorry if I'm using words which are not right, mentioning uh, the contents of a full pregnant mother was burst open and everything was lying around. It really struck me and it was like, as women, how it feels, the contents of a full pregnant mother was burst open. It was very gruesome. So definitely poem can also be a source from where you can take ideas or verses which has sayings on peace, on also on conflict transformation, etc. And I think this is a poem, if I'm not wrong, by Emily Dickinson. I many times thought peace had come today. And also Maya Angelou's The Rock Cries Out to Us Today. I think these were poems also. Tranquility, sure. I don't know whether I'm giving the right example here again. I remember The Daffodils by William Wordsworth. When on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. The 8th standard poem, which I learned. I hope I've answered your question, Patricia.
Mary Oliver's poems, Raina Milker, Maria Raina, what's his name? Maria Raina Rilke, Maria.
Thank you, Patricia. God bless.
I'm just giving you the name of a poet. Yes, there's a lot that you can do. So I think there's been quite a lot of firing on the mind, and we can close for today if there are no more questions, observations, comments. Irangumle? Yeah.
So to close this, I would like to thank our ma'am for giving us such a beautiful and wonderful speech and also letting us know how to promote knowledge and wisdom to avoid conflict to peace. And I personally uh, like something about so much that you say that peace begin within ourselves, then the family and the society, which is really beautiful uh, line. Then it's a wonderful message for me personally, ma'am. And yeah, I hope everyone had enjoyed and learned a lot of things from your session today. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. To end up with our sessions, I would like to invite Nancy for the national anthem. And thank you very much once again, everyone, for joining our inauguration session today. I hope you will be a part of our next upcoming session. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you all for the patient listening. Can I leave,
you.
ma'am?
Yes.
I
thank
think
you,
we'll
thank
have the national anthem because
Oh.
this is our inaugural thing. Yeah.
Okay,
just
okay,
a
ma'am.
moment. Nancy, can you share? I can make you co-host. Um, if I need. I'm so sorry because of this sudden change of links and all that. Thank you. So I'll close the meet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Thanks for the
Bye, bye,
opportunity.
bye. Thank you.